All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to unpack this absolutely incredible philosophical figure, Der Green Gold Narr, which basically translates to the verdant gold jester. And trust me, this is so much more than just a character in a story. It's a whole concept, an answer to a world that has completely, utterly run out of heroes.
And this quote right here, this is the key to everything. It's so powerful, right? The whole idea here isn't about new heroes rising up to save the day. Nope, it's about what comes after they're all gone. It's telling us that the very end of an era, that frozen, dead ground, is the exact place where something totally new, something wild and unexpected begins to grow.
So let's talk about the Age of Gravity, a world collapsing under the weight of its own heroes. What does that actually mean? Well, I want you to picture a late Viking world. The epic sagas have all been sung, the great battles are over, and all that glory has gone sour. It's curdled. The old ways of vengeance and ambition have become a poison. The whole world is just collapsing under what the text calls the spirit of gravity, this heavy, crushing, suffocating weight of its own traditions.
And this is where it gets really fascinating, because it totally reframes what it means to be a hero. That path, the one that was supposed to give everyone meaning, it's become a prison. A beautiful cage, as it says here. It traps warriors in these endless, predictable cycles of ambition and revenge. They're just following a script they can't break free from, a script that's leading their entire culture straight into the ground, all because it's the only one they know.
Okay, so the jester from the barrow, an answer born from decay. Out of all this rot, something new begins to emerge. But listen, it is not another hero with a sharper sword or a stronger shield. No way. It's something else entirely, something that literally crawls out of the very grave of the heroic age. So let's meet him. So, who is this guy? Der Green Gold Narr is a supernatural prophet, but the absolutely crucial part is his origin story. He doesn't just show up. He's awakened from a hug, which is a hero's burial mound. He isn't born into the world. He's woken up by an ending, specifically the moment the legendary Volsung bloodline finally dies out. You see? He's not the next hero. He's the consequence. He's the shadow that proves the sun has finally set.
And just look at his design. He's a living contradiction, a split mirror of reality. On one side, you've got the gold. It's tarnished, heavy, gleaming. It represents everything that destroyed the old world. That relentless will to power, the drive for ambition, the curse of a dragon's horde. But then there's the other side, the verdant. This is wild, overgrown, chaotic. It stands for the absurd, indifferent truth of the earth itself, the entropy that will eventually, inevitably consume every throne and every grave.
Now check out his tools, his regalia. These are not weapons, they are pure symbols. The chipped axe he carries, it's a relic of a broken hero's fate. He doesn't use it for fighting, he uses it as a prop, to mock the very idea of battle. And the fool's rattle? Oh, that is pure Nietzsche. It represents the child, that final stage of spiritual transformation. It's a symbol of new beginnings, of play, and of the joyful sound of chaos.
So, what does this strange prophet actually preach? Well, he's not here to start a new kingdom. His purpose is to introduce a totally radical new philosophy, a kind of wisdom designed specifically for a world at its end. It's a philosophy of laughter.
The core concept is called Wille Narr, or the will fool, and this is such a profound twist on the Nietzschean will to power. Instead of using your will, your inner drive, to dominate the world and impose order on it, you use that same strength for a much higher purpose, to find the power to laugh at the fundamental absurdity of it all, to laugh at the very idea that order was ever truly possible in the first place.
And this philosophy unfolds as a three-step journey. First, you have to see the gold cage. That means you have to recognize that all this striving for power and vengeance is just a fatalistic trap. Second, you have to hear the verdant silence. This is about fully accepting that the universe is the final, indifferent audience for all our human drama. And finally, the masterstroke, wield laughter as will. You actively use this knowledge to laugh right in the face of destiny. And this isn't a laugh of despair, you know? It's the sound of profound existential freedom.
And this is where it all comes together, the great verdant gold truth. It is the ultimate realization that all of it, our striving, our loving, our fighting, our building, it's all just one magnificent, beautiful, and ultimately doomed dance happening right on top of a grave. The point isn't to stop dancing. The point is to dance with full knowledge of exactly where you are.
Now, this philosophy isn't passive at all. The jester puts it into action. He wages war, but not with steel. He wages war with something far more corrosive to the old world: insult.
He calls his weapon Cosmic Neath. In Norse culture, a neath was a powerful, ritualized insult meant to completely shame and diminish a person. The jester takes this concept and just aims it higher. He directs his mockery at the gods, at fate, at the very high seats of cosmic power. He's trying to shame the entire universe into revealing its own absurdity.
So who are his targets? First up is the Skald, the poet, the keeper of history. The Skald represents order, tradition, structure, the belief that the great sagas are truth with a capital T and that oaths are what give life meaning. But the jester's retort just cuts right to the bone. He says your sagas are dusty lies masking the bloody joke of history. He completely dismisses the foundation of their entire culture. He's saying those epic stories are just a nice, heroic frame you put around the chaotic, bloody, and fundamentally meaningless joke that is human history.
His second target is the Berserker. And this isn't just one warrior. He represents the herd, that raw, unthinking will to power. He values physical strength, domination, and the glory of the so-called hero's path. He's the living embodiment of the gold cage.
And how does the jester beat him? Not by fighting. He knows he can't be beaten with a sword. Instead, the jester uses mockery to expose the berserker's rage as childish and absurd. He paralyzes this unstoppable force simply by making his ferocious power look utterly ridiculous, completely deflating his will to fight.
So, if the old pillars of tradition and force are meaningless, what's left? This brings us to the ultimate point of the jester's philosophy, a complete and total redefinition of power and freedom.
Just look at this contrast. The old sovereignty was all about control, ruling over other people, being bound by ambition, symbolized by the gold armoring, and confined by man-made law. But the jester's sovereignty is the exact opposite. It is freedom from the need to rule. It is the freedom to dance and play. And you don't find it in the halls of power, but out in the chaos of the wilderness.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? True sovereignty is not ruling others, but being free enough to play in the face of the void. Real power isn't about dominion over others. It's an internal state. It's achieving the freedom to look right into the abyss, see the universe's absolute indifference, and make the choice to dance and play anyway.
And so, that leaves us with this final, provocative question to think about. If the verdant gold truth is real, if all of life is this magnificent but ultimately doomed performance, what does that mean for us? It's not a question of if we dance, but how. What kind of dance will you choose?